Start recording. Hello. This is the 26th event for iSketch to AI Catch and 3D Revolution. We go live, and I'm clicking on going live. Of course, something pops up here. I need to. What? Oh, he doesn't want to go live. That's strange. Let's try it again. Okay, it looks like this time he took it. That's interesting. So we are live for the event, call it From iSketch to AI Catch and 3D Revolution. This is a LinkedIn audio event. My name is Andu Baciu. I'm the host for this event. And this is the event number 26. I see the live event, it's loading, which means people are joining, which is cool. So let's start with some technical things. For people on the audience, can you hear me? Just click on the reaction, give me a sign so I can see. Okay, it looks like you can hear me. Perfect. The other thing, if you like to come with us here on stage, there is a hand on the bottom. You can click on that hand. The system is gonna let me to bring you on stage. And with this event, I'm trying to talk about the AI. The event is actually in three parts. The first part will be about the innovation. The second part will be about the news. The third part will be about the 3D revolution. Tomorrow also we have another cool event, AICC, the Artificial Intelligence for Content Creators, number 39. Make sure you join us to that event as well. The link is posted in the comments. And I'm recording this event because people from all around the world, they are listening, but some of them, they said, hey, the time frame is not working. So I'm recording this one so people can have access. And with me on the stage, I have also several invites. I have Diana, Farial, Leonard, and Sachin. Let's start with the invites to have a quick presentation about themselves. Farial?
Yes. Hi everyone. So I will tell you briefly about myself. I'm from Pakistan and I'm working here in Dubai with the Dubai Future Foundation and the Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence. And I'm a trained architect, but ever since there was this generative AI boom, I dived right into it, and I've been in this industry for almost 1 year now. And I'm currently also working as an AI prompt master in a Dubai-based e-learning platform. And I design and produce AI courses and marketing content through Gen AI. And what else? Okay, so in addition to all of this, I express my creativity through AI art, and I craft generative art and videos for campaigns and also maintaining a vibrant personal portfolio. As a testament to my belief in the transformative power of AI, I co-founded Ada's AI Spark. It is an AI Ada Spark is my AI avatar, and she talks about women in AI, inclusivity, and other than that, I'm also a co-founder of Musawir.ai, which is an AI generation tool. And what's new about this?
We lost your sound. Go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was telling about what's different in Musawir.ai is that it produces 4K results. It is very user-friendly and it is more localized. For example, if you give it a prompt and ask it to generate an Emirati guy, it would generate an Emirati guy instead of, some Hollywood depiction of how the Emirati Arab man would look. So
cool introduction. I'm almost sure we'll go into the details right after I'm almost looking forward to have more discussion about it. Diana, would you like to present yourself a little bit?
With pleasure. Hello, everyone. Hi, Sandra. Thank you for hosting this event again. My name is Diana, and I'm co-founder of AIelement Academy. I'm working on creating AI bootcamp and trainings for agencies and creative professionals. And with Sachin, who is joining today's call, we are working on a mission to help creatives adapt and innovate their creative workflow. So we are focusing on training part. And I'm happy to join today's discussion.
Thank you very much. Now, since you mentioned Sachin, I will ask Sachin to have a few words about himself too.
Hey, Sando. A little bit about myself, and hello, everyone. So I'm building AIelement Academy along with Diana, and like she mentioned, it's all about trainings, and we provide cohorts for creative professionals. And we are really diving into the AI image and videos, the visual aspects of it. Most of the time, I'm always exploring new tricks and use cases of how you can use these AI tools in a creative workflow. And this is what I share heavily on my LinkedIn profile as well. The workflows, the steps, how you can get things going from there. So it's more in terms of not just one tool, but how you can add several steps to it and then take it from point A to your final vision that you're looking for. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. So I'm looking forward to having some cool discussions over here.
Yeah, thanks. And also the other invite which we have is Leonard, and I know Joseph just joined us on the stage, but Joseph, we need to wait a little bit. So Leonard, would you like to present yourself first?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, Sandhu. This is exciting for me to finally be here because normally this happens during a weekly scheduled meeting I have, so I always have to miss it. So yeah, very exciting to be here. I mostly talk about ChatGPT and other text prompts and Midjourney and other image prompts. Basically, my goal is just to educate about these. My day job, I'm a learning management sysadmin, basically. So I work in IT and in strategy in corporate learning and development at an IT company. So teaching people sales, teaching people marketing, designing courses, managing courses, coming up with strategies for education within the company. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here. I've been very interested in AI since, it became a thing.
From the beginning.
I've been doing computer programming.
From the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been doing, computer programming for probably 20 plus years. There have been a lot of things like NLP, natural language processing, which previously were called AI. People are calling generative AI more generally now, I would say. But AI's been around for a while. It's just this new generation is so user-friendly and usable that it's just very exciting to see it kind of reach the masses where almost anyone can interact with it.
Yeah, super.
And,
yeah, super cool. So kind of we dive in the meeting itself. As I said, this event, it's in three parts. The first part is on innovation, the second it's on news, and the third one on the 3D revolution. So on the innovation part, I was thinking what would be a cool introduction which I should made. And this event, actually, the whole series of events started when I realized, with Midjourney, I can just do a doodle sketch and I can make a picture of it, load it on Midjourney, and taking the web address, I can use that as a reference. And after that, just using the prompt, I can enhance it several times and reuse the new generated image again as a reference. And in this way, you can have really cool results after 3, 4, 5 cycles like this. You have actually super cool rendering options, basically photorealistic ones. So that is the way of doing from basically 2D using AI Sketch, the text to image, and you have such a nice renderings. And the whole idea, when I started this series of events, I would say, that is interesting, but would be cool to take that and make it 3D. And the things evolve. And actually, I think we are on the age where you can do the text to image, but right now we could see AI is going directly text to 3D, and I will touch on this as well. But I find this innovative because that one saves time, but the most important thing, it helps the creativity. People, what they have in their mind, they can express themselves, and I think that I found that extremely important. And of course, we should talk about it. We can share our experience, we can share what we learn, tricks, but in the same time, I think it's good also community-wise, which is the most important thing. It's so diverse. As you can see, the events which usually I have it, they are from different fields, and you realize AI is pretty much everywhere. And also with AI, people find innovative ways of using AI, and that is what I like to share. So that being said, let's start with Farial. What innovative ways you have? And I know you have this wonderful Musavir, which in my opinion also is very innovative of approaching the AI text to image, but would you like to give us more information about it, innovative ways which you are using?
Yes, so we're bringing in a lot of exciting features in Musawir. Like you said, text to 3D is the new best thing, and we're really working hard to get that on our platform as soon as possible. And with that being said, there are a lot of other features that are coming up soon on Musawir.
Yes, I know the characters consistency, so that's really, really cool. Just to give the chance to the other invites, Diana, on your side with Lemon Academy, what other innovative ways you use for the AI in general?
Actually, there are so many interesting use cases. I'm confused which one to pick, but let me think about the first what comes to my mind. On the recent bootcamp that we have provided, so many students had connected with prompt crafting framework that we are teaching. And I think it's something very different and very interesting. So a lot of creative directors, especially, and designers are struggling with creative storyboards because by creating storyboards manually, artists are losing a lot of time. And they want to speed up the pre-production time. This is why they want to use AI. And it sounds like it's not new, but the way how creative directors are using and implementing AI through this creative process, this is something interesting. So we have developed, after many conversations and research that we have provided with Sachin Kama, the framework which helps to execute the final prompt, which actually is getting 80% results of what creative director was having in mind while using AI generators. It's very easy sometimes to visualize something and come up with the story, but when you have clients and you have the story and you need to get the visuals, it's completely different process. So this creative framework is helping to differentiate the basic prompt and later fundamental prompt, to use the special keywords and just implement this in the final images, which will be used for storyboards. So that, I think, is innovating the way how storyboarding is done.
No, definitely is quite interesting. Just to switch to Sachin, I want to kind of steer another innovative ways which you do it, and even on the image here on the event, if you look to the image, there is a QR code on the upper right. Actually, with your phone, if you are in front of your computer, with your phone, you can just scan that image and it's gonna let you to open an AR model, which you can just put it in front of you. It's a house. And that I found it extremely interesting. But also I know Sachin was able to combine the QR codes with actually AI-generated images and look more like 3D. So Sachin, on that side, in that innovative side of doing things, would you like to share some of your experience?
Yeah, absolutely, Sandhu. And I think to get into it, I would like to build a little bit upon what Diana was articulating. I think she was saying it perfectly well of how creative professionals are trying to implement these. And one of the reasons for that is prompt engineering, as we keep calling it, right? It might sound very like a mechanical process, like even like generating these QR codes with AI tools. It might sound like a very mechanical process, but it does not really have to be, right? Because a lot of creative professionals, they love following their own mindset, their own thinking of what the final art should look like. So tagging it as prompt engineering might be misleading a lot of creative professionals, that there is nothing involved in there. But this is exactly what we try to not not really dive into, and saying, hey, it's not just something that you type and then you get your final artworks out. It's more, you have to spend around 15-20 minutes trying to get that base image, those base model, then the style on top of it, and then do the image manipulation from over there. So along these lines, I know that even you and also a lot of creative professionals love to sketch things out as a first step in their idea, right? Even in a storyboard, you want to sketch things out first. So taking from that point, you can use certain AI models. Take, for example, Stable Diffusion with a control net. So what control net does is it adds an additional layer of control over your final image creation. So it's the prompts, that's the first level of control. And the second one is your image reference, which can be your sketches, just your pencil sketches. If you combine all of those, you can really get very good control over your final image. So it sticks very well to your original sketches. Now, taking this concept to QR codes blended with AI art is also exactly the same thing. It's using ControlNet as an extension on Stable Diffusion. And I did this exactly the same way. I think there are a ton of great examples out there where QR codes have been created with Stable Diffusion. So that was the first aspect of it. So I was working this particular project in collaboration with two artists. So there is this creative agency called Shy. They are also using AI to create storyboards. So I was working based on their brand and design brief. I was working using those QR codes, using ControlNet, Stable Diffusion, trying to stick to the brand guidelines that they have, the brief that we have. So I spent around 3 hours doing it. Got a ton of different iterations. Like I think I did 30 to 35, 40 of them, which finally 3 of them is what they picked. And then there was another artist who was using a third-party app to create these AR, the AR aspect of it, where if you scan the QR code, the whole thing turns into a very, amazing experience and immersive experience where you can actually interact with the brand in very cool ways. So it is a set of, I think the power here really lies in following these AI tools in a step-by-step approach to get to the final creative vision that you want. And there are tons of AI models, even open source models that are out there that you can experiment with.
Yeah, and I agree. I do see a lot of interaction, multi-platform actually, will be the workflow. You use different platforms, but also the interaction between the platforms as well. Like in my example here, just scan the code in this image, which we have it for the event, and automatically you can immerse yourself in one of the 3D models, which I did for a house. So I see that super cool. I know it's going to be a lot of, in the future, we're going to see a lot of things like this. We go to Joseph in a second, but Leonard, would you like to share your innovative ways of using AI?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that, a lot of it has been addressed already here. And thank you to everyone for covering it so fairly. I think that what's most interesting is the idea of looking at kind of new ways of doing the same thing. So, for example, marketing previously, unless you have a lot of money, has been very centered around text-based copy and less on visual storytelling. And again, I'm talking about lower budget. Same thing, movies, again, lower budget movies have less special effects, and sort of people have been pigeonholed into certain areas based on budget in the past. And I think what's exciting here is that smaller creators have more opportunities to use some of these tools and get, Hollywood level or Photoshop master level or photographer level output that they never previously would have had access to. So a lot of people say how AI is putting people out of jobs or out of business, but I think that more it's just creating opportunities that didn't previously exist, right? Like those small creators wouldn't have been hiring a photographer. They just would have not been using photographs, right? Or they've been using Shutterstock or something like that. So, just sort of changing the way you think about execution, kind of changing your strategy and being flexible over time, I think is important. So, a lot of people will say, like, what is achievable within current AI? I think it's more helpful to just sort of assume that at some point everything reasonable is going to be doable with AI. It's just what do we want done and when do we need it done? And that decision-making frequently can be very important, just in terms of thinking, like, how soon do we need this, right? If we need something really complex and we need it tomorrow, we probably have to build it. If we need it in 3 years, there's probably going to be some sort of low-code version of it, or multiple versions of whatever my particular use case is. Let's say it's some kind of complex chatbot, in several years. So I think that can be another important way to frame things, is to say, like, what do I need now? What do I need in the future? And then just sort of trying to use what tools there currently are for different things. So people have mentioned multi-tool workflows. I think, for example, ChatGPT does great with data. I think Claude does better creative work and has a bigger token count, which can be useful. I think if we're looking at image generation, Midjourney is mostly the champ, but honestly, the new Leonardo stuff is very close, and I've had a bunch of instances where Leonardo actually gave me better output than Midjourney, and that's never happened until about a week ago, so that's very exciting. Competition is good for everybody. I like Musavir and I use it, but it's still in beta, so I wouldn't call it like a top 3 contender just yet. But it's up there, and I'm a fan. And also DALL-E I'm a big fan of just because it follows instructions. I now use DALL-E as my intro to image gen. Like when people say I want to try it out, what should I use? Instead of saying Midjourney, I tell them to go to DALL-E because even though the quality is not quite there, I think it's a better starting point for people just because it follows instructions better. So you could say, like, a man riding a dog, right? Something unlikely. If you try that in Midjourney, you're just going to get like a man dog and a bunch of people like merged together, or a man and a dog near each other but doing random things. Whereas in DALL-E, you can really specify all the way down to the hex color level, which is pretty cool for designers. In Midjourney, it can be difficult to get certain colors. For example, cherry red is going to give you a bunch of cherries. I use the word orange a lot in my prompts because that's my branding. And I end up with people holding oranges all the time in my images when I didn't really request it. I just threw that in because I have the word orange. So you can actually specify in DALL-E a specific hex code, and it's not 100%, but it's very close, which is very important for branding. If you want to get a photograph where the background is your brand color, that's not really achievable in anything other than DALL-E. And then most of all, I would just encourage people to experiment, try things out. You just want to do things a lot of times. That's how you get good at it. I've just been generating image after image and running text prompt after text prompt, both for fun and at work. And if you do something enough, you start to get really skilled at it.
Yeah, no, cool. And kind of you steer it toward the news part, but with us here on the stage, we have also Joseph and Thibaut. Joseph would like to give us your feedback, and after that, we'd like to hear also Thibaut.
All right, thank you. I'm Joseph. So one of the things I've learned from using generative AI, though I'm new to it, is the way in which we can create amazing concepts as an architect, because I use it for generating most of my images. I give it prompts and the outputs are really amazing. Like today, I had the opportunity to work with a colleague. They were working on a school project. So I used DALL-E to generate amazing output for a professor, in which the professor was impressed because one of the things the student that gave me the project to do, he was working on the use of biophilic design in architecture. So I was able to use that and also the generative text image to image output option under Mosava to generate those image. Although I'm not one of the major speakers today, but based on the fact that when you guys, I saw an option of raising of hands, so I said, let me raise an hand. Maybe I might be given an opportunity to speak. The use of generative AI is on handing. Like recently, what I did for it is on handing for creative design. So I'm looking at ways in which you can use it to break boundaries of creativities and innovation in design, what we can use it for. And I hope within the coming years, we'll be able to see amazing outputs we can get from generative AI through remodeling of maybe a house by you just stating prompts, 3D printing, and all those amazing things that generative AI can give to us as creative professionals. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. Sandu, thank
No,
you so much.
welcome, Joseph. And again, for people in the audience, make sure you click on that hand and I'll bring you to stage. I really like to have your feedback regarding architecture. Yeah, we have in the previous sessions, we talk about that. Right now, the development is actually directly to 3D. There is a software over there called it LookX, which is actually doing generative AI directly in 3D, which is specifically for architecture. On my side also, I took last year, actually, well, a year ago, I took one of the images, which I have it with done with Midjourney, and I convert that in 3D using that image as a reference in SketchUp, and after that I just export the STL, and I did a 3D print of that model. Small scale, but the STL could be used if I want to have a house. I can use for house as well. So that's the future. That's what we discussed last time, and I fully agree with you that that is what we're gonna see in the future. In my opinion, actually, with the clients with AI, we're gonna have on one-on-one session. I mentioned that several times before. We are at the point where you can invite your clients, and in an hour you can ask them what are his criteria, what he's spent, and lively, in the lifetime, you can show the possibilities and he can pick the option. And after that, the legwork is coming. That means we are not to the point to say, okay, tomorrow here is your 3D printed house. Maybe in the future we're gonna have that, obviously, but right now definitely we can have the concept, and after that all the architectural world, and coordinate with engineers and utilities and put it in the. Actually, you can do it even right now. That model can be converted in augmented reality model, and you can put that on the C2, basically on the land over there, on the empty lot. You can place that 3D model on augmented reality, and with your phone, literally, you can walk inside of the house. I posted also at the previous meeting some examples with that, which I did last year. So yeah, you can walk into the house. I think this is awesome, and frankly, I think that is the future. So, yeah, that's awesome. And also with us, probably Ernesto is going to join us. But Thibaut would like to give us some feedback from your side. Thibaut?
Yeah, sorry guys, I do have some issue with the sound, so I may not be able to speak right now. I do apologize for this.
It's okay, we can catch up, but we hear you pretty well, actually, Thibaut.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, that's fine. Joseph, would you like to have some feedback? And after that, we can go to Ernesto. And also, Sufyan also join us.
Hello. Thank you so much, Sandhu, for the opportunity.
Yeah, welcome.
All right. So I belong to ProHomes, prohomes.com. It's a global marketplace for homes and home decor. So as you're saying that AI can provide the opportunity, whether it's augmented reality or AI, where people can buy homes and they can renovate their homes. So what ProHomes actually do is it's a platform where people can buy home and they can maintain and upgrade their homes. So as continuing your statement that AR and AI can improve the home and where people can actually go in virtual reality and they can see that. So how do you think that in that circumstances where people have huge options to buy the house around the world, they can buy homes, right? So what do you think that how AI or AR will help people to suggest to get the better analysis where they want to live? And the most important thing which I am actually facing from the customers and clients is which kind of designs they want to adopt for their homes. So what do you think? And is there any AI platform that actually gonna help us, the company owners and the clients, to improve their homes and residential areas?
Yes, they are. And actually, I thought Ernesto is going to stay with us to provide your feedback as well. But I can give you at least from my side. And after that, I can let the people from the audience also to give the feedback, or people on the stage. So there are a few things. Like any model which you present or any project which you present to your client, certain critical thinking is applied. That means is going to be a feedback. Is not 100% on the client side, is not 100% on the designer side. Always is going to be a mix. Always it's going to be a hybrid. And this critical thinking is going to evolve. The question is, all those changes, from the initial stage to the final product, how they can be provided and how you can train your client to understand the model. And many times, like one picture makes 1,000 words. It's better to kind of show exactly how it is. And that's the reason I see the power of augmented reality, because you can immerse yourself into the model, and in real time, you can actually modify it. We are not there yet so far. The 3D model always needs to be updated in a separate software, and after that re-upload it as an AR. So far, very few AR software can do the modification directly in the AR environment. It's a little bit more complicated. There are some versions for that, but again, it's a pioneering stage. So that is going to help, in my opinion, a lot the client to make the decisions. And as I said, I see that as a future, because in the past, people, they look to pictures or they look to the plans, the floor plans, but they did not have that capability to think in 3D. Of course, some people, they have it. Some people, they have difficulties to understand that. But when you put the model in front of them and you walk around and you rotate it and you go in the house, left, right, you show them where the entrance is, where the kitchen is, the living room, the bedrooms, the bathroom, and so on. So it's giving you the sense like it's in real life. And this is where I'm seeing the big advantage. And I will let people from the audience also to provide more feedback if they have the experience. The other thing which I want to mention is not only the AR, but it's also the capability of the bots. You can have AR assistants which can help you also in writing stuff, in designing stuff, but still the critical thinking is with the humans. But maybe on Farial, on the AI bots, would you like to mention a little bit more what the AI bots can do and how we can lever that capability?
Right. My expertise is especially on Gen AI, image generation, voice synthesis, And that's what I can give you the best advice on. I'm not very much familiar with how the deployment of bots and how we can leverage the advantages of bots, to be specific.
No, it's okay. It's okay. If you can.
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about that if you'd like.
Sure, go ahead, Leonard.
Yeah, so at work, I've been doing a little bit of work with bots for multiple use cases. Really, the idea with these bots is that they can frequently be a business's first foray into AI, just because it can frequently be easy to plug a bot into data from multiple sources, right? So you might use any variety. Zapier is one popular platform for doing a ton of integrations if you want to bring data in from a lot of different places. I work a little bit with Dante, which does a ChatGPT 4 bot that a number of people here also are familiar with. I also at work use the OpenAI API to do custom bots. It's written in Python. That's a little more complex. And then I also use Microsoft Power Virtual Agents at work, which is another way of accessing, I guess, the same ChatGPT stuff, but with less coding. That's another low-code type platform. So, really, I'd say the first thing to figure out about a bot is there's, I'd say, two types of bots in general. One's called a conversational bot. Its objective is mostly just to chat with someone a little bit. And frequently those will be heavily guardrailed, where like you see a flow chart for behind the scenes where it says like exactly what's going to happen for a certain response, right? So you might set a bot up so when someone says the word sales appointment, it takes them into the sales appointment flow, and everything is going to be about sales appointments. And that's kind of, I would say, like a more old school type of chatbot, kind of based on phone systems almost. Please press 1 for blank, press 2 for blank. And it's just a conversational version of that. I think what gets more interesting is what's known as a knowledge-based bot, and that's a bot that's fully trained ahead of time on a knowledge base. And that can be much better because it's going to try to constrain itself to that knowledge base, which can prevent hallucinations. So like a generative chatbot is going to be just trying to come up with any response that sounds reasonable as its first priority, whereas a knowledge-based bot is going to prioritize instead trying to say something that's accurate, that's based from the knowledge base, even if that means that frequently it's going to have to say, I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. Where, if you're trying to show off your product, that doesn't look as cool. But if you're a business, you're more interested in an accurate answer than an answer that sounds or looks impressive, right? The accuracy is so key. And so that's frequently why I think people are more looking at knowledge-based bots. And I think that that's kind of the future for most business use cases. So
Yes.
as far as platforms go,
Yeah, no, I just want to mention that because I do see like another example is the Chirper.ai, which is a platform like Twitter/X, which are actually using only bots. So they are no human on that platform, but the bots between themselves, they chat, they discuss, they learn between themselves, and lately they start doing drawings. Basically, they do AI generated images from bot, which means you can use an AI bot to create an AI image. And if we extrapolate that, it means you can use an AI bot to help you with an architectural render for a client, which later can be a 3D model. So we can, extrapolate, just go and push the limits of imagination, and we can have all those innovative way of thinking, and kind of we can talk about more news as well. But yes, I do see that. I'm happy actually you mentioned it, the specifics on the bots use and their ways of having developed, basically, no? Leonard, on the news side, kind of, we said we're going to touch on this. I know Midjourney just released a web version beta. I'm not sure if you guys saw it. It's very similar to the regular Discord, but it's on the web. I think that's really cool. I saw also Luma AI. They give us some news. Also, Leonard.ai came with some news. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so Leonardo, you have some echo, by the way, Sandy?
Yeah.
Leonardo came out with some SDXL-based bots, or not bots, image generators, sorry.
Yeah.
I have bots on the brain. So, so SDXL, or Stable Diffusion XL, so that's a larger model, that's the name. So it takes up more memory, it's more computationally expensive, and so they finally have a version of that as their main renderer, so that's pretty exciting. They seem to have done quite a lot with it, because it's way better than the base SDXL or Stable Diffusion XL model, as far as I've seen so far. And then you also brought to my attention that they have a new 3D mesh generator, which is cool. So you can import a .obj file, I'll try it after this call, and generate 3D meshes from text. So like describe what the character should look like, and it'll make a 3D mesh for you, which is more complex than it sounds, because when you see one of these 3D meshes, it looks like, I don't know, an unfolded cube, basically.
Yes.
But for like an entire person. So it's very difficult, actually, for artists to generate these. You kind of like paint them in 3D. And so having AI is able to do that would be really exciting in terms of 3D generation. So, we have the ability for AI to make a 3D world from text. You can make a 3D model from text. Now you can make potentially the colors and textures for those models from text. So really we're getting closer to what I would call Roblox's original dream of basically anyone being able to make their own game from scratch based on text prompts, and you just describe it iteratively and get closer and closer to what you're trying to do.
Yeah, there are some options. I mentioned it before, and still we are on the news. There is a software, CSM, Common Sense Machine, so CSM.ai, which is taking a 2D image to the AI-generated image, and it is going to extract the mesh. It's only the envelope mesh. Basically, it's a wraparound.
Do they have anything new? Because when I
No.
last used that, I found like the model qualities are not great. When I talk to 3D artists, they're like, yeah, that requires so much manual work that it almost isn't helpful.
Well, it's a low value mesh for the free option. I do not have the pro option, and I heard actually on the pro they are a little bit more refined, and the quality is actually far more better. So again, probably needs to go toward the paid version, but that's an option. So people, if you want to get a mesh from an image which you generated, you can do that. But if you prefer the open sources like I do, you can do that kind of semi-manual with FSpot in Blender, where you can take that perspective of the image, and from there you can just build a quick box in Blender, which is free, and you just project the image to that object. So I'll try to do a post on that. A lot of people ask me what will be the easiest way, so I'll make a post for that so you can see it. You can do that also with SketchUp, similar way. It's a match photo option over there, and after that you just build a 3D model. Again, for rectangular, it's very simple. If it's something more organic, it's a little bit more complex. I'll go with CSM because CSM is good with organics. But also the other thing is you can use the depth map. So you can use software like Leapix. So basically you load that AI image in Leapix, and you can have a depth map, which is like grayscale kind of image, but that means also is the depth of the mesh. So you can use that, but as you said, needs some manual work. Or you can use the same principle with Zoe Depth. That's another software which pretty much is doing the same thing. So that will be on the new side. But I want to touch also on Musavir. Farial, you kind of mentioned it, but you also have a new logo style which you released, which I found it extremely nice. And that could be used also to create kind of depth map. If you use the logo, you can take black and white, and whatever is black can have a height. And basically you can do very easy like a stamp in Blender. So that I want to mention it as well. Farial on Musavir. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Okay, so another thing I wanted to add about the multi-view diffusion for 3D generation is there's another thing called MV Dream. Maybe you should all explore that. And MV Dream is a multi-view diffusion model that is able to generate consistent multi-view images from a given text prompt. And learning from both 2D and 3D data, a multi-view diffusion model can achieve the generalizability of 2D diffusion models and the consistency of 3D renderings. And
Yeah, pretty
yes,
cool. Let's make sure reminder to everybody. For discussion, click on the hand, come with us here on stage. But also, what we discuss, let's put the links in the comments for the software which you mentioned, Faria. Let's put it on the links, and I'll put also on my side the other ones for the 3D, because it's important. You guys, you should test it. You kind of need to have a flavor or the feeling how the things goes with 3D, because I'm calling the 3D revolution, and kind of that's the last part of the event, but we are in a 3D revolution right now. Just generating the 2D images, it's nice, could be used for advertising or for different purposes if you want to publish something, but we know the future, it's all about the 3D augmented reality, emerging in different metaverses. I mean, that's the future, and I do see from the 2D kind of going toward the video. I'm almost sure a lot of, even Midjourney, they said at one time they will have a video, but the video was only showing a video of the rendering process. But I think they will go beyond that. There are a ton of other AI softwares we can mention. I know Diana and Ahmad, they mention it all the time. So the next big thing is videos, and to the videos you add the sound. But in my opinion, the 3D is coming next, because when you have multiple views, you can easily generate consistent characters, consistent assets, vehicles, and so on. And from there, again, you can go in the real world. You can 3D print them. You can do whatever you want. And it's like a full circle. We know everything looks like AR, but reality is they will become reality. Somebody's going to take that 3D model and is going to make it real in a form or another, as a toy, as a 3D print, or a house, and so on. So yeah, I just want to mention that as well. So I think it's pretty cool. So Diana, maybe...
Hi, Sandu.
Yeah, go ahead.
May I share as well? I think those news that speakers have mentioned today are pretty cool. I would like just to say about updates that have been released today. So for many people, I believe, who are using presentations, that might be useful. If you are using presentations in your daily work, please give some reactions. That would be nice. So just today's release of Tome, which is AI app which helps you create presentations with generative AI. They have created the version number 2. And now you have more variety in page designs with layouts, and you can customize your page content even better. And also you can build page by page. Previously, when you were using this app, it was kind of creating you the whole presentation on specific topic. And you could go and just change manually a lot of elements, but now I believe they have improved that process. This is the first, just recent update. And the second one that I wanted to share is by Canva. So Canva just launched a complete suite of tools for educators. And apparently 93% of educators, they didn't know where to start with AI. We all know how busy people and teachers can be. And they were having kind of hate-to-hate relationship with AI because kids were using AI and ChatGPT not in the way to implement and improve, make some research their answers, but just to copy from there, which is not recommended to do. So now they have created a special suite in Canva where teachers can customize the lesson plans, and they can rewrite the content, and they can animate the slides and reformat the lessons, and also, what is interesting, translate material into over 100 languages. So I just wanted to mention that if there are educators in our audience today and you are looking for some tools for your presentations which can be implemented right now, you don't have to learn specific design course. You don't have to finish school on this. There are tools which generative AI provides to automatize your process and help you focus on actually the content that you are delivering and make it more engaging for your students. So Dome app and Canva has released those news today. I'm also very excited as I am. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, thanks. So we are visiting the Web Summit in Lisbon on 13th and 16th of November. If there will be anyone from our audience visiting Web Summit as well, please connect with us. We would love to see you in real life and grab a cup of coffee. But what is interesting that during that conference in Lisbon, there will be a person representative from Canva, and even more updates will be released. So I'm super excited because this tool is implementing so many different AI solutions like HeyGen, for example, and they are having also DALL-E implemented, if I'm not mistaken. So they are using generative AI to power up the presentations and creating video content, which you mentioned, Sandra. And I think it will be super powerful. It's just taking the slow pace to grow, but we should not underestimate Canva.
Yes, no doubt about it. And I think we'll look forward for those events. I do see a lot of people, they have multiple events. If I can get contact with several of the people from Canva, I will invite them also. Maybe they can share a little bit more. With us all here on the stage also, we have Michael. Michael would like to hear more about innovative ways of using PicGen. If you make sure you unmute. Michael?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Diana, right?
Yeah, Diana.
Diana. Yes, I'm the founder of PicGen.ai. It's a tool that helps you generate AI images. It uses the various services and gives you a lot of other things. My response to Diana is that we've actually completed a plugin for Canva so that you can use Canva. They have an app store, if you will, and you can go there and you immediately connect into PicGen, and PicGen does your image generation. It keeps a history, helps you with styling. It does image to image as well. They're very slow in approving our app. It's taken over a month so far, but I think it should happen in the next week or two. So I'll keep everyone posted on that. And we're very excited to work with the Canva community as well.
Yeah,
Mike. That's great news.
Yes, Mike. If you want to mention the other products, I know under the hood of PicGen there are a lot of good stuff over there, and I'm not sure if everybody on the audience they know. So if you want to,
okay,
please,
thank
yeah,
you. Yeah. We work with Midjourney, Stability XL, and OpenAI. We're waiting patiently or impatiently for OpenAI to publish the interface for DALL-E 3 so we can get in through the API. That should be happening soon. I've worked a lot with the combination of GPT-4 and DALL-E, very exciting, and I think we have some ideas that we can employ to make that an even better experience for people. Perhaps one of the ideas is to be able to swap out image generation engines. So while DALL-E is very nice, it is limited. So when you're using that combination, you might be able to say, oh, okay, well, let Midjourney generate the image. and other things we're working on. So as that interface becomes available, we'll be working closely with that. I think that's one of the more exciting things happening in the AI image generation space. Also, I recently attended a conference in New York at the New York Hall of Science for science educators and museum educators. And there was a lot of presentations and discussions for putting AI into museums and reaching out to kids and adults who were museum visitors to understand AI and to work with AI in their museum.
They are also on the other coast, on West Coast. I notice also in the public spaces they start using not only the AI but combination AI and AR 3D. Basically, yeah, you can use your phone and you can have different kind of goodies over there. Again, you can emerge in certain things. You can find small things for kids. Always, as I said, education, it's always fun. You cannot force people to educate. Always the best education is when it's done with fun. Again, it's a whole theme of discussion if we want to go toward that space. But yeah, no, really interesting things.
It's referred to as informal education. I'll post the link to the website they set up at the bottom of the
yes.
This forum.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we still have a few minutes. I want to touch a little bit on the 3D. Obviously, we sort of discussed about AR, augmented reality. Last week, I presented also one of the invites was talking about the AR Hero. Basically, if you scan the code here on the image of this event, it's going to bring you the model which I made, but also that can be loaded on the AI Hero platform. I think is really cool. But with that, ton of other things comes in my mind. I'm kind of thinking to make a new book where I can have a QR code and you can emerge on the image directly on the cover of the book. Stay tuned. I will have it probably in a week or two. But the other thing which I posted here on the comments is the drone technology and the robots technology, because right now AI, most of the people think it's only on the computers, but they're actually also on the phones, and they will become mobile. The robotics is going to be probably the next big thing. I talk about the 3D, but I didn't say that after 3D it's also robotics. The drones, for instance, the drones of the future, it's an interesting article which I notice will be drones which they can change the shape. Basically, in this movie, they show a drone which looks more like a dragon, like a snake, and it can modify the shape and going in different, let's say, obstructing space. That is extremely important because typically the drones are in open spaces. If you touch something, they fall basically. But this one, it's interesting. And also in the robotics, there are a lot of news which I saw at a big company like Amazon. They start having robotics in the warehouse, in the big parking lots. You can have a robot which can pick up your car and park it. Also, robots can use for warehousing, also not like Amazon, could be also for other things, for heavy stuff. And the most important, obviously, we have the robots like Tesla or Boston Dynamics, Ameca. So I'm thinking that will be a good discussion for the maybe next week or the week after. But I just want to mention that if anybody on the stage here, they want to talk about the 3D and the robotics, feel free to join us here. And with us also we have Big Al. Big Al, if you want to share a few things with us.
Yes, Sandhu, I just wanted, since we're getting close to the end of the session here, that tomorrow you and I are going to, in the main event, have Arslan Javed, the co-founder of Musavir, on the show with us, and he's going to be talking about how he feels the launch has gone, and also go into the various new features that they're working on, and I think it'll be very interesting. I hope we can get the kind of attendance tomorrow that you've gotten today.
Yeah, definitely. So the link, guys, we really appreciate if you can join tomorrow also to that event. It's at noon Eastern time. The event is the event number 39 for AICC. And again, it's posted here in the comments. I think we'll continue the discussion over there, focused on Musavir, of course. So we kind of reached toward the end here. But Farial, would you like to kind of close up the discussion and maybe share more goodies regarding Musavir?
Thank you so much for hosting this call. It was really enlightening listening to the other speakers. And Musavir, like I said, is going to announce a lot of new features, but we're just, planning on how to go on about it, the marketing stuff, and how we want to tell everyone about these new features, since there's like a lot of competition, as you can see. So we just have to plan, and then we're going to launch soon. But a lot of new features, some of them you already know are in beta now. We just tested out. It was a closed beta testing today for the consistent avatars, and I must say the results were stunning. We're going to roll it out soon to our top AI artist circle, and most of you are in the call right now, so
that's pretty cool news.
That's new.
Yes, that is going to help us a lot. In my opinion, it's going to be probably one of the most powerful features in AI, let's say, discussions. So, yeah, really cool. Okay, I really thank you very much to everyone, people on the audience. Thank you very much for attending, and definitely people on the stage. Thanks for sharing your insights and your experience with AI. We'll continue also tomorrow. Again, just a reminder, join us for tomorrow as well. And next week also we're going to have our discussion about from iSketch to AI Catch and 3D Revolution. I really thank you very much to everybody. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone.
Amazing session today, Sandu. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to mention that looking forward to tomorrow's session. And also, I would like to invite everyone to join our free AA workshop. It will be hosted in November. I can just send the link.
Yes, please.
You can register in advance because we will have limited seats. But we are sharing AA workflows which creatives can use in their daily process and just speed up the production time. So happy to invite everyone. It's free.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Okay. And we have another person who joined. Evangeline, you join us if you would like to have the final words. You get that chance, and I appreciate it.
So just summing up, like what you guys said, literally, what do you feel like the main takeaway for AI? And like, in terms of software, like, what do you guys like recommend in terms of like, what software is the best for Metaverse? I'm trying to not go with the Meta Facebook, but I'm trying to go for just like the centralized software on its own. Like, how do you feel like, what kind of animation features do you feel like is most viable in the industry?
Well, it depends what you like to do. Do you talk about the 3D or only video or only AI generating image, and after that you can convert that to the video? Because you have plenty of options on all of them. Quickly, depends if you on the artistic side. Of course, I will recommend go with Musavir, with Midjourney. Also, you can use DALL-E 3 if you want to be more specific, Leonardo. That is creating a 2D. If you want to go on the video, you can use Runway. Obviously, there are a lot of options over there. I'm almost sure Diana can post many other softwares, and on the 3D side, this is where is the pioneering. Depends what you want to do. If you want to do architecture, there is LookX, and if you want to do something from a 2D image, you can use CSM.ai, or if you want to build it by yourself, use Blender. Is free, but you can use an image as a reference on behind and play with the mesh a little bit, extrapolate the texture to it, and you have a 3D model. So I think it's first time when I can mention so many in 30 seconds. So cool question, actually.
No, actually, it'd be awesome if you could post it, but thanks a lot.
Yeah, no, that. Actually, I will post a link on LinkedIn. I'll do a post exactly to your question and kind of explain it, advantages and
So,
disadvantages.
yeah, so I was just wondering, like, what do you think is the main takeaway from today's session? Since, like, not everyone seems like, I mean, there seems to be more architects and artists. What do you think is the main takeaway for today's session?
The main takeaway, it's a great community which you can ask every person who participates here, and they can guide you toward the answer which you're looking for. That's my greatest takeaway. And also, you can join us on those events, because this AI community, it's always great. All the people which are here, they try to help the other people. And that is actually the power of those discussions. We are so diverse, and everybody is kind of having their experience in their field. And if you have a general question, like you ask, okay, which one, you can have the possibility to have the feedback from different people, from different industries, and depends what you want to do as a final goal. So I think that will be the greatest takeaway from this discussion. Okay, thank you very much, and we'll catch up on the next one. All the best. Thank you. Bye.